Okay. Hey, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called The God Killer. It's a top-down 3D puzzle-solving adventure game. At the moment, I'm figuring out how to use a new API. It's for analysis of music and audio. It's called Sonic API. It has something very interesting to me, a capability that seems in my research quite difficult to create from scratch, which is analyzing the audio sample data, not just doing a spectrum analysis, not just returning some information about what pitches might be played at certain points. No, it figures out the key that a section of audio is in. So in the chromatic scale, there's 12 keys. There are things like C sharp major, G minor, stuff like that. All of the keys correspond to 3 notes. And music in general, no, I shouldn't say in general. I should say music that follows the chromatic scale, which is 97% of everything you hear on the radio, uses those 12 keys. Each key has 3 notes that represent it, and you can analyze music and you can determine the key. It's hard. I've read stuff on it. I decided I don't want to write that code myself. That will take me months, years, maybe, to do it properly. People write their PhDs in it about it. It's a tough problem. I don't want to take that on. I'm making a game. But I do want to be able to analyze music and see what key it's playing in, because I've already got code that adjusts the sound of melodic sound effects in my game to match any given musical key. So if I can perform an analysis of the music, the sample stuff, it doesn't have to be live during the game either. I just have to be able to do it at some point and get the key from it. If I'm able to do that and store the timing information, like a piece of music maybe in the first verse it is in C and then it goes to G in the chorus, and the bridge it changes to something else. If I can store all that timing information, then I can have my sound effects harmonizing in harmony with the song that's being played, which would have the effect of the player contributing to the music as they move through the game. I think it would sound way fucking cool. But before I can do that, I gotta figure out the analysis of the music. And I had started yesterday with a lot of constraint upon what I was showing on the screen. So let me just get that out of the way. There is an access ID which you can generate, and I found out it's really easy to generate many access IDs, as many as you want. So the one I'm using now, I will not make any further efforts to hide it from whoever's viewing. Oh, I should switch over from the big dumb head camera view to right side with chat. Okay, so I'm trying to use this API. It passes an access ID, and I'm just going to use a burner. So here's my current access ID. Somebody could go try and like wreak havoc with it, but I mean, it's really the most you could do, like if you were trying to screw me up, is maybe get that one particular account banned. Like if you just started a denial of service type attack right now by spamming to their API with this key, the most you could accomplish is to get my account, which I created in all of 5 minutes, banned. And then a little bit later, I'm just going to change my access ID to something else. So have fun if you want to mess with me. There's better targets, more interesting results, but have fun if you want to mess with me. Okay. So, I was just playing with it now, and the first thing I thought is I will try to follow their example. I will do a curl command, which is like a command line way of issuing an HTTP request. I'll pass the access ID. I'll pass a file that I want to upload. The way their API works is you upload the file that you want to analyze, and then you call different APIs to perform the analysis. So I'm on the first part, which is uploading a file. I've also got this code inside of Unity, but it didn't work with the curl command. So when I do my curl command, I've looked it over a few times to make sure it matches what they gave me. It says the stream was not closed cleanly. It was refused. Could be that there was a problem with my access ID, so I'm just going to go get another access ID. I'm going to do it right in front of you. Right in front of you. Let me refresh. Normally I would be careful not to do this. So let me try to create another one. Just make sure there's not something wrong with that particular access ID. We'll call this one 2. Okay. So 2, that. And I'll go back here. And I'll just see if it makes any difference if I change it to a new access ID. Just in case, like, that last one got throttled or something like that. Does not. It does not. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the access ID. Now yesterday I was successfully uploading something. I definitely was. So I'm kind of curious what's changed. Let me see if I can at least get back to the different failure I had yesterday, which was more interesting at least. So here I say what type of file to send. I'm going to go to WAV, which is the original one, and the other thing I did is I wasn't sending the file name, so I'll take that out. I want to get back to where I was. So, okay, you're going to recompile, and let's do the upload. Oh, well, okay, let me fix that one bug. So I'm trying to call something here which isn't going to work, or something in the constructor. Let me at least fix that so I can have my code running clean. So let's do public and start. Okay. Let's see what this does. Anything at all? Okay, this looks like the behavior I had yesterday. So let me try it again. Okay, so network error, HTTP, yeah, okay, same thing. Let me see what happens if I do MP3, which is a smaller file at least. It should go quicker. Didn't really go much quicker. Interesting. Okay. So then also try a few things here. Let's call this file name. Let's say I'm trying a few quick things now, but I'll have to get more fundamental in my approach if those kind of solutions don't yield some insight or a fix. So path, get file name, file path. Okay, consistent behavior. Okay, I'm where I was yesterday. I'm gonna try a few more things. Does it matter if I set? Oh, not that one. Does it matter if I set the data encoding? System text encoding. It's not text though. Content type, does that matter? A problem is when it returns the error, it gives me no clues as to the problem. So I have to hold this against them a little bit. It really just says 500 error, which means an error that occurred on the server. It's usually the equivalent of a uncaught exception. They didn't like validate my input in some way and say you have bad input. That would have been a different HTTP code besides 500. So like I sent some data to their server and it crashed, or it had an exception that was unhandled. I don't mean like their whole server went down, but it just seems very likely that they just didn't have handling for the type of data that I'm sending. So okay, I can keep guessing, but I think what I want to do is see if I can find some code that works. And they have not provided that in their documentation, at least not in this first. API call here. They gave me a curl command. That curl command does not work. Okay. So, what was the next thing I want to try? Oh yeah, their demo. They've got a demo. So the demo is going to be in JavaScript. Well, they have some different stuff. But basically, if I look at the key, and here's the JavaScript. So this is nice of them. They just posted the source. Okay, so here's the input file upload. It's probably not going to help me too much. There might be a clue here, but I think they're using like the form to the HTML element in the DOM to imply certain things about a form post. I don't know, maybe that's not true. Let me see. Is there a form? Task URL, analyze key, format, JSON, access ID, input file. Well, that's interesting. So they, in this case, this music is already at a certain location. So they're passing in a URL to it. I think that's true. Is that true? Poll task status. File status. I'm realizing I'm saying a lot of things out loud, like I've just figured them out when I'm actually just kind of thinking out loud. That must be annoying if someone actually listens to this. Alright, let me put this in my own IDE so I can just look at it closer. Is there anything about uploading here? No? Okay. So is there anything about the key? Yeah, there's the analyze key. Let's try that. Upload file from hard disk. This cross-domain request stuff doesn't apply to me because I'm not calling inside of a browser. See the source of a live demo for an example of how to use this plugin. Choose another. Yeah, okay. I wonder if there's just a way I can just simply upload a file with their web browser. Oh, you know what? I mean, I could. Here, let me just try this. Let me just try this. It's not what I really want to do, but it might be a nice start. So let's take song MP3. Okay. And I actually see inside of here where there are some key changes, so I'm gonna go here. I'll play the music. Okay, so let's say from 0 to 8. Although this might be key changes here too, like a chord progression. Yeah, I think so. So let's do 0 to 2 and see what it says. So upload the file, then it performs the analysis. It says A minor. So if we go 2 to 4, you know, the note was going do do do. Okay, try that. G major. Okay. So that, I mean, that shit works, but I just kind of want to understand how to upload my own files. Is there anything like in the profile that would just let me upload? Wait a minute. So I used their demo thing here while I was logged in. I think that's probably going to put things under their account though, not mine. Yeah, I want to get that file upload thing to work. Okay, so I can just look at their source code. That might give me something. Do they have it all in line? It could be tucked away inside of JS. Upload. Oh, I forgot about something I can do. I forgot. I should know this. I am a web developer. Okay. So if I do the network monitoring over here while I perform that file upload, I can see the actual HTTP request it's made. So let's do, I'm also kind of curious what it makes of what seemed to me to be a key change over the span of 4 seconds. Let me check. Okay, so upload file, do song MP3, network. What kind of request will it be? Will it be, I'm going to just say all for now. Okay. Okay. So options is a negotiation for cross-domain access, basically. This one here is probably the one I want. So what did it actually send? Headers. So, really? You're analyzing the key already? Let me go back to this one. Options 200. Huh. I would have thought it would have needed to send an upload. Okay. Just looking through these one at a time. This is just static content that the web page loads. All that static content. So here the call is to analyze a key. Okay. Let me just, so I can just see the whole thing together, I'm going to copy it as a curl. So then I can go to my console, I can just paste it in, see what they're actually sending. No, it doesn't look like it has enough info to actually do the thing. Let me see this next one. Oh, I was looking at the options one maybe. Yeah, let me try this next one. It kind of looks like they're sending up the file with the key request. So let me copy that, C URL. I don't know if this one will be successful because yeah, because like in order for that request to be successful, it would need to actually send all of the data in the form request, in the form data. But when I did the copy curl, it didn't like copy like all the bytes of the file too in the request. I mean, it shouldn't. It would be kind of stupid for it to work that way. But I'm just looking at what else was in the request because I think they consolidate everything together. So let me just analyze that a little bit. Analyze key. It's got the refer here too. It's always possible that it might cheat based on the refer being passed. Like the API that gets called could be called in a special cased way because of the refer. But anyways, I am seeing evidence that you can perform the file upload along with the key analysis in one call. So let me look at the docs for the key. It is kind of sad to me that like the example they give here just doesn't work. So analyze key. I could also host the files at some location of my own choosing. That would probably work. I can also, just as a test, to make sure it works, I can use like one of the URLs that they had for one of their files that was already hosted on their site. I think it would be a good idea for me to move on to this API and not worry as much about getting the upload thing to work. So let me check this. Public. So access ID, input file. Okay, begin seconds, end seconds. This a float. Oh good, they are also saying float. I think it'd be easier to call this in a blocking way. Okay. See, it can all be done in a query string. So you pass in the access ID. Here, I'm just going to copy this whole thing. I need to figure out what to use in C# or Unity for encoding a URL. Okay, Unity URL and yeah, that one. Okay. Unity web request. Escape URL. URL. Okay, and I guess also I want begin, let's see, it's begin seconds equals begin 6. Okay. I don't even need to do a post, I could just do a get. Get rid of the form data. That's easier, I think. Okay. It seems like it has a fair chance of working. I'll pass a hard-coded URL to the same thing that they wanted to use. If there's just even any other example I could use. Okay, but let me try with theirs first. Okay, so here's the input file that they use. I can just copy that. Just gotta get it working first. Just gotta get it working. If it's working, then I can start tweaking with it and making it more like what I actually need. But to start with, let's just be as close to what they gave me that actually works. So let's see, 0f. This will be 4f. Okay. Alright, let's see if that does something. Okay. So what is the URL? Seems good. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Now I'm getting somewhere. I think if I look in here, D flat minor. So I do need to write some code that'll parse that HTTP response. Okay, but I've made a successful call to their API. I have done that much. Wouldn't it be magnificent if I could upload? No. Okay, one thing at a time. So let me make sure I can parse the key. That would be the next thing. It's actually kind of good to use a URL because then I don't have to keep on uploading the file again and again. Okay, so this is now a Unity thing. So I want to know Unity read HTTP response. I'm going to do Unity web request read response. It's probably going to be in that download handler. Yeah, this one. Well, that's easy. Well, it's with the www, but I think I can get a download handler, and maybe it'll work the same way. So if that's the case, then I'd be very, very much on the way. Otherwise, let's do okay. See what that does. In fact, I'll just take that out. I'll take that out. Okay, nice. So I don't really, do I want to do a full XML parse? I don't think I do. I think I want to just keyword search for toner result. And once I'm inside of there, search to the right for the first thing that says key, and then take the key out of there. That's what I think I want. Okay, so I have a reference to write my parser against. I'll take this guy out. Okay, I can also pass in ref string music key. Okay, let me make it a little bit nicer. Okay, let me make it a little bit nicer by reusing some constants I wrote in a different project, the main game project. God killer, assets. Okay, now Let's see if it picks up over here. I hate this. Irritates me. What do I have to do? Refresh. Maybe I need to have Unity rebuild so it recognizes it, a new asset. Okay. Yeah, that was what needed to be there. Okay, so this is God Killer music analysis. I guess I don't need all the notes. I don't need this music key util thing. Take that out. There. I've got the chromatic scale. All 12 possible keys are right here. In fact, just to make it so that it's different than the other file, in case I have to mix source, I'm going to change this. Okay. So parse will return chromatic scale. Parse key. String response. And this is going to be chromatic scale. Private. Okay, this is an example of what I'm parsing. I want to compare this to the docs. Just make sure I'm not doing something off. Whoever wrote this, +1 to you. Thank you very much. It was Broper. All hail Broper. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't. Boom. 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 Okay. Okay. There's some other interesting stuff in here. I don't think I'll need it. Well, okay, this is interesting. The tone art engine. Worst case, I could go look at this too. Not that I've hit the worst case. This is apparently where the source technology came from. Was it licensed? It was probably licensed. There's an SDK here too. Okay. Well, that is a rabbit hole. But it's nice to know that if for some reason I don't like the results of this, I can check out this too. But still, what is it? Is it a for sale thing? Is it open source? Licensing, okay. Okay, got it. Z-plane. The originators of the algorithm I'm using. Okay, so the response in the documentation for the response is less useful to me than the response itself, because it's a little more specific to look at this and see. It's in a tone art result. They do say what these other things mean, key and tuning frequency, but this I had to kind of find by just looking at what I actually receive. So let's do a parsing for, let's see, it's result pass equals that. This won't be a highly robust parser. Oh, come on. Why can't it be nullable? Enums can't be nullable? Okay. Fine. Let's say none. It's -1. Unknown. Then look for so then I want to look for inside or after the tone art result. I want to look for key equals, let's see, result was if I wanted to do this properly, I would get a XML parser going here, but I think this is going to be fine. Okay. Then I want to find the next enclosing quote in this string. But let's call this int start pause equals, okay, and we'll say end pause. It's going to be the first quote after the start of that. Okay. Thinking about off by 1 errors, so let me think. So start pos was 0, end pos was 1, and yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, so then I want to parse this baby, or switch case it. Is that how I want to do it? Yeah. I don't need to be performant. Also, just to make it a little bit simpler, and just make it all lowercase. So it would be nice to see the actual documented return values. I can kind of guess them from this, but the thing that's getting me is like these flats and sharps. Sometimes they'll say like C sharp and mean it to be the same thing as D flat, or let me see if they have any documentation on the possible keys that can be returned. Circle fifth, no. I don't know, this is where it would be found if they did have it. I don't see anything, so I'm probably going to have to do it by trial and error. Okay. Switch. Music key. Okay, so it's going to be dBmin is one. Let me just take all of these. Chromatic scale. Come over here. Yeah, like same thing I was talking about. So D flat minor, I'm calling the same thing as C sharp minor. Because sharp is going up, and don't say that, garbage. D flat minor, same thing as C sharp minor. Okay, just to make sure I'm covered, let's go C sharp minor. I'm assuming that's how they represent it. Return C sharp minor. Okay, C major. D major. Three down, 9 to go. Okay, so I want to do E flat major. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm covered, so I'll do D sharp major as well. Although it's probably going to be written with the pound like that. I'm just tearing through these. Okay. F sharp major. A sharp. No, that's A flat. A flat major. And G sharp. Oh, I guess I could use case statements the way they were intended. It actually reads better too. Cool. Same deal there. Oh, that's for the minor chords. Okay. And A major. Did I already do A major? I did. Okay. So I just forgot to delete these from beneath. Okay. So B major. That's all the majors. So that's halfway through. A little more than half. Now let's do the minors. What's that? Okay. One more. Okay, so that should map to all those. Since they don't document expected values, it's always possible that I've got a new one. Okay. Let's see what this does. Let's see what it does. No, I didn't. Come on. Force key. Okay. So I think that'll at least compile. What's my response? What? No, this isn't right. I don't know, you're off in some other code. You did not rebuild for me. That would be the issue. So, clear. And save all. Did I save? Yeah, I did. Build all. Okay. What? What? Show me the friggin' error. Come on. Iterators. Okay. That's fine. Hey, Kamikaze Toy. Not bad, not bad. Just getting this music API thing to work. Let's see. So let's go with. I hate doing this. Music key last detected key equals. Let's see. How you doing? Detected key. This is a static as well. these to some values. So I'll make this music URL. I'll make this begin seconds and seconds. Set these to some public values up top. Public string music URL equals that. Begin seconds. Yeah. In this case, it really is just a string. So it's following the format of a URL, but it's not like a live or anything. The code beneath that loads from that URL uses this string. So this code is going to make a call to an API to analyze some wave audio, a song, and tell me what key it's in. And I think it'll work. But I just wrote some parsing code that looks through the response that comes back that's in XML like this, and searches through it to find this part here in the string. So I'm gonna see if that actually works. Okay, so that string I typed in is the default value for this inspector value, and then this is the range of the song it's going to look at. This is a file that's hosted on the internet someplace that I can just download. Yeah, I'll tell you what, right after I verify my parsing code, I'll go demo it. So let me see. Here's the response. Cool. Result pause. Did you find it? Yes. Okay. Start pause from there. 91. Good. Pause from there. 95. Good. Look for one-off errors. Okay. So that's screwed up a little bit. So what I want is start pause plus 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want start plus 5. And pause minus, okay. Start pause equals easier way to do this. After this, I go start pause plus equals 5. 5 equals key equals. Okay, so let's try that. For some play. Cool. Okay, try it again. There, that's good. D. Good. Okay, so it detected the key. It parses fine. I'm gonna. Okay, C sharp minor. Cool. So if I go a little bit further in, 4 to 8, see what key it detects. Still C sharp minor. Maybe the whole thing is C sharp minor, I don't know. 0 to 8. Okay, let's go in much further. 30 to 40. F sharp minor. Cool. Alright, that works. Game demo coming up. Coming up right now. Open this other project. Let's save this. Close this. Okay. Close some other stuff that might slow it down. Okay. Scene. I don't want that to be there. Take that out. Okay, cool. So it's not tremendously boring. I'll add some enemies into it, even though there aren't in this first level any enemies on purpose. Prefabs, and throw some brawlers in there. Yay, my lighting kicked in. Snap even working? This should be at 1. Okay, that's what. No, 1. Snap on. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's throw some more in there. Alright, that should be enough. Alright, hit me some play. I want to do maximize on play to give you the full benefit. Spinny, 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 spinny. A lot of things go really slow while I'm broadcasting. This is one of them. There we go. Alright. The frame rate is really, really choppy right at the beginning. Also an artifact of broadcasting. Okay. Okay, so the character with the red hair, that's who I'm controlling. I can move up, down, left, right. The hands are going to follow me around. They're a character that's talking to me. They also spin around to face me wherever I'm at. So I have another ability called flinging. So I hold down the shift key, and it points off in the directions I can go. And it just lets me fling all the way in that direction. Thank you. So I go over here. So the thing I was working on in the other section was detecting the music key, because all the sound effects that are melodic, they are set to a certain music key. So if it's C sharp or D flat or whatever, the notes that they play change. Okay, so when I come out here, there's one line that I recorded some audio for, and it's going to do the hand animations along with it. So here it comes.
M, you are special. I say that to all my creatures, but truly, you are extra special. I have great plans for you. By the way, how are you feeling?
Okay, that was the big line with the hand animation. Okay. So, remember how we were talking about enemies that move after you move? That's the deal with these guys completely. So if I move, they move. So they wait to move until I move. Can't outrun them because they're moving exactly the same speed as me. There's these little indicators of what might happen, or what actually I know what will happen if I move in a certain square. So if I move here, this dude here is going to push me off in that direction. If I move here, he'll push me down there. So I'll show you. So he pushed me all the way to the end of the room, the other end, until a wall caught me. I can push him too, but only if I'm kind of at the correct spacing to push him. Right now I'm not, so it just ends up pushing me again. If I can push them, I'll push this. So here I'll go east, it'll push this guy, but this guy here will end up pushing me down. So I'll go. Well, you can die. This level is the very first level of the game, so I made it really kind of hard to die. But if there are spikes someplace and they knock you off into the spikes, then you'll die. If you fall off a really great height, like basically you're falling off into infinity, then you'll die that way. There's a few other ways. But it's also kind of like you don't really want to engage the enemy and attack them just for the sake of beating them. You want to have some other goal, like you want to get to a certain place. Yeah, there's like spike blocks, and if you get knocked onto them or you step on them, you would die. So yeah, that's... Actually, I could put some on, but I'd have to restart it again. I'll just go up to the top first and show you the rest. I'll show you what they look like. But since it takes a while to kind of cycle through after a level edit, I'll finish kind of demoing the level. Nice little view. So this top part I have not finished constructing. I'm putting all the different objects in. Let's see. So this drop off here. If you drop down, it takes you down to this other unfinished area of the level, but it's basically on your way to the end of the level at this point. So I killed myself and it sent me back to the beginning. You can die as many times as you want. It doesn't even restart the level when you die. It just like takes you to the last egg that you touch. These things are eggs. And when you kill your enemies, they just go back to their last egg that they touched. So death is really not very permanent. Alright, I'll show you a few other things. I'll do spikes, see if I can get turnstiles up and going. Thanks. Let's see. So the scene. Then let's just throw some spikes down. Yeah, these are kind of fun. It is a little bit fun to kill the enemies, even if you're not really... It's not like a goal to kill them. Let's see. Another thing that I like, though I haven't ran it in a while, so hopefully the code is still working. Not that many. I do have, I think there's like 4, something like that. West boat, west spikes, west boat. Okay. Get some more axles down. I like the axles. Axles are fun. West, east. All right. I'm a tiny bit reluctant to throw any more enemies down because I haven't tested that code in a while. But I've got like one that has like this sort of ray that shoots out from it and just kills everything that it touches. And I've got one called a heavy that you can't push, and then I've got another one called a spiker that basically you just die if he touches you. And alright, try that out. Oh, my lighting's gone to sucky. Because when I add new models into the scene, it restarts the lighting, what's it called, the light probe map thing. So the enemies just kind of killed themselves on spikes elsewhere, so they teleported to that egg there. Yep.
M, you are special. I say that to all my creatures, but truly, you are extra special. I have great plans for you. By the way, how are you feeling?
So the ice you slide across all in one turn. So it's kind of a tactical thing. These guys will try to push the yeah, for sure. These guys, they'll try to push the axle too, but like if either side is blocked by the other, that it can't be done. But if I walk out of the area, oh, I guess I'm wrong. I guess they're not. Oh, maybe a bug. Anyways, so it's possible to like use the spikes on the other side of the axle and just kind of knock them onto them. The two guys just walked onto the spikes and died. Let me see, are there any more guys over here? I think there are. I thought I put some more guys out here. Maybe not. Okay, I'll walk onto the spikes. That's kind of the gist. Oh, there's 4 of these guys. Okay. The enemies aren't that smart. Kind of on purpose. It's more fun to sort of lead them around. Well, anyways, that's a demo. Thanks for watching it. I think I'm gonna stop the stream right about here so I can chill a little bit before my sweetie gets home. Alright. right, Kamikaze Toy. Catch you later, buddy. Stopping the stream, stopping the stream, stopping the stream, stopping it, stopping